So this is a helping version of how you're going to debug. So let's do a compile of the changes that we've done. And if you look, so I am going to copy the code that I put in there, create a new program, file, new Java project, essentially call it uh, debugging, finish. Don't create a module. So we have this guy, do debugging, create a new class, call debug, quiz debugging, create a public static void main, finish. So I have this to start with. So what I am going to do is I am going to copy the code from the uh, Canvas website and put it in there. So I am copying it over and I am putting it in here and I'm just going to copy it over here. Now what do we see? So I'm compiling and we are seeing some errors here. So what do we see? So first thing that we see is public class. What does it say? Score to grade must be the same file. So I did quiz debug. So I can change the name of the file, QUIZ, and let's see if the name debugging, PUGGING. So the thing is happy, the error goes away. Now what do I see here? I see, so it says token expected another bracket to be closed. So if you look at this string as another bracket, so you can close it that way, so that error goes away. Go look at this guy. What does it say? There is a bracket, incomplete expression. So what do you see here? I see next double. Generally next double has a bracket close here. What does that mean? That means you close and the array, this becomes now, let's see, this is score delete error. Now remember, this has to be a string. Now this cannot be a string because there is nothing. So this part is string, this part is string, and this part is a number. So in order to make both of them a string, you have to use a plus sign. Keep that in mind. If you have a print bracket, then one part is string, the other part is number. So adding both of them actually makes it a string. Now let's see the next one. So this is the next guy. So what do we see here? So it says print ln undefined function. So if you look at the other print ln, what do you miss? You say print pr. You're missing a r. So that takes that. You go and so there you go. So another error, it says cannot be resolved in a variable. So if you look at it, scor, is there any variable in here which is scor? I don't see anything. So this has to be score. There you go. And see, what does this say now? This says essentially insert complement to complete this the semicolon. So you have to insert a semicolon here. That actually fixes the problem. So this is, so few things to note. One, you have to note that you cannot have a semicolon at the end of this. If you have a semicolon at the end of this, it will give you an error here. So what does it say? It says token, else delete this token. Either you delete the else, or this thinks that this statement is complete, or remove that. So there you go. Few things, few other things is people put colons at the end of it. People don't put a return in a function. Make sure this string is the same as this return type. That means if you're calling a string here as a function, you have to define a string, and whatever you return has to be a string. So that gives you an indication of what that is. So that's the solution for the question.